Close your eyes and imagine a world where the rules of life, as you know them, simply do not exist. In our world, life is defined by structure. We have skeletons to hold us upright, hearts to pump our lifeblood, and brains to process the reality around us. We are machines of complex engineering. But now, imagine descending into the deep blue, past the sunlight, past the clouds of fish, into the crushing weight of the abyss. Here, you find a creature that is more ghost than animal. It has no heart, no lungs, no blood, no brain. It is an organism that has stripped away every essential organ we thought was required for survival. This is the jellyfish. For over 500 million years, it has drifted through Earth's oceans, unchanged, unbothered, and seemingly immortal. How does something so simple survive in a world so hostile? To understand the jellyfish, we must first unlearn everything we know about biology. Let's look at the chemistry of this creature. If you were to take a jellyfish out of the water, it would practically disappear. They are composed of nearly 95% water. In a biological sense, they are barely there. But this is not a weakness. It is their greatest superpower. Think about the pressure of the deep ocean. At 3,000 feet, the weight of the water above would crush a human ribcage like an eggshell. But because a jellyfish is made of the same fluid that surrounds it, it feels no pressure. It is immune to the weight of the world. It doesn't fight the ocean. It flows with it. Instead of a brain, the jellyfish uses what scientists call a nerve net. Imagine a web of electricity spread throughout its entire body. Every part of the jellyfish is awake. It doesn't need a central command center because every cell is part of the decision-making process. This decentralized intelligence is so efficient that it has allowed them to outlive the dinosaurs, the mammoths, and every other apex predator the world has ever seen. But how does it move? Without muscles as we know them, the jellyfish uses a rhythmic, hypnotic pulse. This motion is one of the most energy-efficient movements in the entire animal kingdom. When the bell contracts, it creates a vortex, a swirling ring of water that pushes the creature forward. Scientists have spent decades studying this pulse. They discovered that jellyfish don't just move, they manipulate the physics of water itself. They create areas of low pressure that literally pull them through the ocean. It is as if they are flying through the water using the same principles as a jet engine, but with the elegance of a ballet dancer. And yet, this simplicity masks a terrifying reality. In the open ocean, where food is scarce and predators are many, being invisible and simple makes you a ghost that no one can catch. But what happens when this ghost decides to fight back? What happens when those delicate trailing threads, the tentacles, become the deadliest weapons on the planet? As we look at these drifting umbrellas of light, we are forced to ask, what is consciousness? If you have no brain, can you feel? Can you learn? Recent studies have shocked the scientific community, showing that some jellyfish species can actually remember past events and change their behavior based on experience. Without a single neuron clustered into a brain, they are learning. How is this possible? This raises a larger question about the very nature of intelligence. Perhaps we have been looking for life in the wrong way. Perhaps the jellyfish is not a simple animal, but a more advanced form of existence, one that doesn't need the heavy, fragile organs that we rely on. We are only just beginning to scratch the surface of this mystery. In the infinite blue of the open ocean, distance is a lie. You can travel for miles and see nothing but the void. But in this emptiness, a jellyfish is never truly alone. It is surrounded by an invisible, lethal web. Most people see a jellyfish and think of a harmless, drifting balloon. They couldn't be more wrong. The tentacles of a jellyfish are, quite literally, the most sophisticated biological weapons on the planet. To understand why, we have to zoom in, past what the human eye can see, into the microscopic world of the nematocyst. Imagine millions of tiny pressurized harpoons coiled like springs, waiting for the lightest touch. When a fish or a stray swimmer brushes against these threads, a chemical trigger is pulled. In less than a millionth of a second, faster than a bullet leaves the chamber of a gun, these harpoons fire. They don't just pierce the skin, they explode into it, delivering a cocktail of toxins designed to paralyze the nervous system instantly. It is a masterpiece of evolutionary engineering. But this raises a larger question. Why would a creature with no brain need a weapon this fast? The answer lies in the harsh reality of the deep. As we descend deeper, where the sunlight fades into a permanent twilight, the jellyfish change. They become larger, more haunting. Here, we encounter the lion's mane jellyfish. Its bell can grow to 8 feet across, but its tentacles? They stretch out for over 120 feet. Imagine a creature longer than a blue whale, drifting silently through the dark. It doesn't chase its prey. It doesn't need to. It simply exists as a massive, venomous curtain, sweeping the ocean for anything that breathes. But it's not just size that makes them terrifying. In the midnight zone, light is a currency. Many jellyfish here have mastered bioluminescence. They create their own light, eerie blues, haunting greens, and blood-red flickers. Scientists still don't fully understand the language of these lights. Is it a warning to predators? Or is it a lure, a deadly star designed to attract curious fish into the reach of those toxic harpoons? What we've discovered only deepens the mystery. We have found that some jellyfish pulse with light in a rhythmic pattern, almost as if they are communicating with the void itself. Then, there's the box jellyfish, the phantom of the shallows. Unlike its cousins, the box jelly has something impossible. Eyes, 24 of them. They are arranged in clusters around its body, allowing it to see 360 degrees. Think about that. An animal with no brain, yet it has complex eyes with lenses, retinas, and corneas. It can detect light, motion, and even specific shapes. It doesn't just drift, it swims with purpose. It can navigate through complex mangrove roots with the precision of a professional diver. How can a creature process visual information without a central brain? Where is the image being formed? Scientists are baffled. It's as if the jellyfish's entire body is a processor, a living computer that thinks with its skin and sees with its nerves. This is a level of biological efficiency that humanity is still centuries away from replicating. It's not just an animal, it's a different way of being altogether. But there is a darker side to the success of the jellyfish. Around the world, we are seeing jellyfish blooms, massive swarms consisting of millions, sometimes billions of individuals. They are clogging nuclear power plant pipes, destroying fishing nets, and wiping out entire local ecosystems. As our oceans change, as they become warmer and more acidic, most life forms are struggling to survive. But the jellyfish? They are thriving. They love the heat. They aren't bothered by the lack of oxygen. While the coral reefs die and the great fish disappear, the jellyfish are moving in to claim the throne. Some scientists believe we are entering the age of the jellyfish, a return to the ancient oceans of 500 million years ago, where the only thing that mattered was the pulse and the sting. This raises a larger question. Are we witnessing the decline of the modern ocean? Or are we just watching the true owners of the earth take back what was always theirs? The more we see, the more we realize. We are just guests in their world. We have explored their bodies of water and their weapons of glass. But as we reach the deepest, most quiet reaches of the ocean, we encounter a secret that challenges the very foundation of life and death. In our world, time is a one-way street. We are born, we grow, we age, and eventually, we cease to be. Every living thing we have ever known follows this linear path, except for one. deep in the Mediterranean, scientists discovered a tiny, unassuming creature known as Turritopsis dohrnii. It is barely the size of a fingernail, almost invisible to the naked eye. But this creature has achieved what kings and alchemists have dreamed of for millennia. It has conquered death. When this immortal jellyfish faces a threat, be it starvation, physical injury, or simply the wear and tear of old age, it doesn't die. Instead, it performs a miracle. It begins to shrink. It absorbs its own tentacles. It sinks to the ocean floor and transforms its cells back into their earliest, most primitive state. It becomes a pulp once again, a baby version of itself. From that polyp, a new colony of genetically identical jellyfish emerges. It is a biological reset button. It is as if a butterfly could turn itself back into a caterpillar or a bird back into an egg. How is this possible? The process is called transdifferentiation. It is a phenomenon where one type of mature cell, like a muscle cell or a nerve cell, literally transforms into another type of cell altogether. In humans, our cells are locked into their roles. A heart cell will always be a heart cell, but for the Turritopsis, the body is fluid. It is a shapeshifter on a molecular level. This raises a terrifyingly beautiful possibility. If a jellyfish can reset its biological clock indefinitely, then how many times has the individual we are looking at now lived before? Scientists still don't know if there is a limit to this cycle. In theory, a single jellyfish could have been pulsing through these waters for thousands, perhaps even millions of years. It could be an ancient witness to the history of our planet, carrying a silent record of the world in its very DNA. What we've discovered only deepens the mystery. Does it retain any memory of its previous life? Or is it a clean slate every time? While we look for the fountain of youth in laboratories and chemicals, it has been drifting beneath the waves for 500 million years, laughing at the concept of time. But the Turritopsis is not the only one. Across the globe, we are seeing the incredible resilience of jellyfish in a changing world. While the great reefs are bleaching and the majestic whales are struggling, the jellyfish is expanding its empire. They are the ultimate generalists. They can survive in waters too warm for fish and too toxic for coral. In some parts of the world, jellyfish blooms are now so large they can be seen from space. They are shifting the balance of the entire ocean. We used to think of them as an annoyance, a byproduct of a dying sea. But perhaps we were wrong. Perhaps they aren't the sign of a dying ocean, but the sign of an ocean returning to its true primal state. They don't need the complex brains we prize. They don't need the hearts we depend on. They have survived every mass extinction in Earth's history by being simple, by being efficient, and by being patient. Jellyfish is a mirror. It shows us a version of life that is completely alien to our own, yet perfectly successful. It reminds us that much of our world remains unexplored and misunderstood. Deep in the silent, crushing darkness of the abyss, life is following a different set of rules. We are just visitors here, standing on the shore of a vast, living intelligence that doesn't need to speak to be understood. The ocean isn't just water. It is a heartbeat. It is a pulse. And in that pulse, the true owners of the world are still waiting, drifting and surviving, just as they always have. And perhaps just as they always will. Nothing about the jellyfish is normal, and in that strangeness, we find the true wonder of our planet.